Okay, hello everyone. This is LAX2011 uh, comic strip, and we are from group 32. This is our group discussion video 6, which is also our group reflection video. So before we begin, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Farrell Josh Sabin. My metric number is 196746.
Hi, my name is Nur Alina Wani binti Muhammad Abdul Halim and my matrix number is 203562.
Hi, my name is Intan Aida Zulaika binti Abdul Aziz and my matrix number is 202787.
Hi, my name is Nur Sabrina binti Azman. My matric number is 198,057.
Hi, my name is Anis Ashikin binti Rodli and my matrix number is 197053.
And hi, my name is Siti Mariam Hazwani binti Muhammad Azlan, and my matric number is 198213.
Okay, so for today's discussion, we will be talking about uh, what we have gone through in making this comic. So maybe we can talk about before we did the comic, during, and after the completion of this comic. So maybe we could start with before we made the comic. So for me personally, it was hard for me because when I registered for this course, I thought that we will be making like individual comics and not working like making one comic as a group. So that took me by surprise. And another one was when we present each our teams, it was very hard for me because nothing seemed very interesting to make into a comic. So that's for me. Anyone else?
For me, I have the same thought as Farrell, where I thought that this comic will be done individually instead of, and for me, it is easy to came up the with the team, but it is quite difficult um, to plan an idea on what to uh, the storyline for the team that I propose. So in terms of proposing the team itself is easy, but to give out the idea how the storyline will be, it's quite difficult. And but during the discussion for the team, um, uh, I do get a lot of feedbacks, and I think from there I have some ideas on what is the storyline for the team. So that's all for me before doing the comic.
As for me, the hardest part before doing the comic is by choosing the right team. Like we all have our own team and our opinion, and I think I agree with Anis and Farrell that we like hardest to choose the right team. But after we all have discussed properly, then we came up with the best two team, which is the vaccination and student life. Yeah.
So for me, the hardest part is also to find the right team, um, because as we all have different ideas, it is hard to come out with the only team and how to combine all ideas so that every opinions will be count in. And yeah, I wasn't expect the drawing will come out as good as it comes out. And yeah, that's the hardest thing, which is come out with the team and also the drawing part.
Yeah, as for me, before doing the comic, actually I couldn't picture it, how it would be for us to make a comic. Since you are doing it online, I get the idea of like how the comic strip is, but I don't know like what how do we do it online, because yeah, we are not meeting each other, right? And um and then during the making of the comic, we were told that we have to draw with our own hands. It has to be handwork, which means if you also want to draw, you have to draw online. And then there's come the hardest part for me, I think, because I cannot quite figure out how we can actually do it. But and then after doing all the comic, after completing the comic, and I think that yeah, it's kind of making the impossible happen. Yeah, for this course. Yeah, that's for me.
So for me, I think it's pretty much the same with you guys. It's easy to for the initial progress of the comic. It's easy to propose ideas for whatever we want to do, but uh, once we choose the topic, it's kind of difficult to like brainstorm about that one topic. But we did it anyway. Yeah, I think that's all for the.
Okay, so next we can talk about what we did the in while we make the comics. Like, for example, maybe what's the hardest thing that we experienced, what are the easier things that we did. As for me, I think for me personally, the hardest part would be the drawing process because I'm not a very good drawer, and that was a very big challenge just to make it look nice. So the easiest part for me would be, I think, the dialogue would be because it's very short. So I didn't have any problem when we were making the dialogues. How about you guys?
Uh, for me, I am the opposite from Farrell, where I think the drawing part is quite easy for me, but the hardest part is to came up with the dialogue. For example, for the vaccination, so that to ensure that the readers able to get our message from the dialogue and the comic. So for me, the hardest thing is doing the dialogue and also how to um like to discuss with people who did the dialogue and also the drawing to to get the to synchronize it between the drawings and also the dialogue. So for me, it's quite difficult to do that. Yeah.
Okay, as for me, the challenge in making this comic is for the first comic, I was in charge in color the comic, and I realized that I don't have any color pencil. So I just bought my friend's color pencil, and then for me, coloring is not my passion, and I terrible on it. But after I do the coloring, I find it quite interesting and I like it. Yeah, that's all.
I had the same problem with Intan when doing coloring for the second comic because I had no color pencil, and I think I can agree with both Pharrell and Anis about the dialogue because for the first comic we have to be very uh the script has to be very in detail, you know, because it wants to give the specific message. Unlike the second comic, it is much self-explanatory, so we keep it very short. Yeah, I think that's all from me.
So as for me, I do agree with Anis, which is the drawing part. Is one of the easiest thing in making this comic, but to match the dialogue with the comic, I think it's quite hard for me because I did the second comic for the dialogue, and I think that yeah, like I said, the comic is self-explanatory. So but we still need the dialogue. So it was quite hard now to match it. And lastly, how to put um all the message in one box because the second comic is comparison. So we want the reader to be able to understand it. So yeah, that's the hardest thing to put one message in one box and the dialogues. Yeah, that's all.
As for me, um, yeah, I think the hardest part was drawing and deciding what's the storyline would go because I think the storyline makes the comic whether it is interesting or not. So like thinking about the storyline and drawing it is not an easy thing to do. And I think that and at the beginning of our first meeting, I think, or second meeting, I can't recall. But I did ask you guys who can draw, like who can actually draw. But yeah, clearly none of us can draw. And then it worries me because yeah, drawing is something that that a creative person can do, but none of us can. But yeah, and then the easiest part, I think, color. I think the coloring part is easy because yeah, just coloring like we used to do when we were kids. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay, so maybe next we can talk about uh, after we completed the comic. What do you guys feel? For me, there was this sense of achievement because I've never drawn before. Like I said, I'm not a good drawer. So when I finish uh, be drawing, helping the drawing process to complete it, there was a sense of achievement that I did it. Yeah, it's finished. It doesn't look bad, and I just, for me, if there was anything I could say, maybe I could have helped a bit more in the drawing because that was very hard for me. So my contributions were little in that. So how about you guys?
So for me, the task was really fun. From these legs, I learned how to mix and match the color for our comic and how to choose the suitable color to make it more interesting. And also, the strength for our group is I can see our teamwork is really strong that we can came up with creative comic and make a quite impactful storyline, although it simple but it's meaningful not to others but to us also. So overall, I would like to say that we all did our best for this group discussion.
So as for me, I think making this comic is very fun. Unlike other assignments, which is very stressful to do, I really enjoyed the whole process, and with each other support, we can come out with this. Oh God, this beautiful comic, and very well. The dialogue, the plot, all the whole comic is very good lah. It's very good. And then I think maybe I will keep continue doing the comic later. It was a very fun process. Thank you.
For me, it was a fun process, and I am proud of what we have done. Yeah, no regrets. I think that's all.
Okay, as for me, yeah, I'm also feel satisfied because we can complete, and I'm actually surprised because at the end, we can complete both comics, and I think it's look really beautiful and really creative that we actually think of these two teams, and we work together, and yeah, overall I am very satisfied about what we have done.
For me, I do feel the same way as you guys. Firstly, I feel that self achievement. Because after I draw the comic, uh, I'm quite impressed. Like, I don't know that I can draw quite well, so I'm kind of proud of myself. And it was a fun process, and also um, I am satisfied with the work that we all did, because the comic looks nice, and also the message uh, can be delivered well. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, so we have completed two comics. One is vaccination, and another is the university student life. In your opinion, which one is the better comic? For me, I like our first comic, the vaccination. I really like the story. You know how the parent is being anti-vax vaccine. It doesn't support vaccination, and the child is helping her mother to get the right info, and I think we managed to successfully deliver the message that we want, and without making it seem too um, how should I say this, in a good way. We deliver the message in a good way. So what do you guys think?
I think I'm also like the first one, the vaccination one, because it fits what with the current situation, which is now all Malaysian and all people around the world are getting vaccine, and it's a good awareness for people out there to know about what the goodness of getting vaccine. Yeah, I think I like the best. My choice is the first one, the first comic, which is vaccination. Yeah.
So personally, I like both comic strip because for me, for the first comic about vaccination, the comic really gives such a big impact and awareness to people out there. While for second comic, the topic is about student, why it relates to me myself as a student. So if I need to choose the best art between these two comics, I think I would like to choose the first comic because it was so informative and interesting for me.
I do agree with Eileen too. So compared both comic, I prefer the first comic because I think we did a very good job delivering a heavy topic into a fun way, and the message is delivered well too. So yeah, I like first comic more.
As for me, I think both comics is good, but same as you, all of you, the first comic is more informative, and I think it is more important and fits the current situation. Yeah, that's all.
For me, uh, I like both, but okay. The first comic, I will choose the second comic because the second comic is related to university life. So it really fits us as university students. And also it is really simple and easy to understand. So I will choose the second comic because there are many colors, but choose the second comic.
Okay, so I think that is all for our discussion today. So this is our last group discussion video, and with this, I would like to thank every one of you for cooperating and participating in the discussion and the making of this comic. So that is all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you, everyone.